Hello, lovely people. I have a cold, but let's ignore that and talk about last week. So this past week, my sister, like my actual flesh and blood sister who looks a whole heck of a lot like me and you'll meet in a later video, came to visit me. Seeing as she had about an 8-hour flight and 12 hours of travel before her, the first thing that we did when she got here was immediately get on a bus and go to Pichilemu. Pichilemu is Chile's surf capital of the world. We went there to aprovechar of the sun and surf, but ended up only getting one of those things. It's about 3.5 hours away from Santiago by bus, which is about the only way you can get there. Unless you've got your own private plane, in which case, can we be friends? 3/4 of the bus ride were spent in beautiful sun, and we were really looking forward to the beach when we hit a wall of fog or mist or something that turned the southern central section of Chile into something that really looked a lot like how I imagine creepy moors in Ireland look, but with more trees. Not letting that stop us, of course, we still had a great time. Pichilemu is definitely a little surf town, and it comes with its own rickety sort of boardwalk, amusement park area, and random impromptu skate park / competition that's right in front of a go-kart racetrack, which is just awesome, as well as countless miles of beach. One of the coolest things about visiting Pichilemu is that while it is an incredibly touristy spot, it's touristy within Chile. For the most part, if you're playing the game Count the Gringos, gringo being anyone who speaks English as their native language, that was pretty much limited to 2. It was way too cold to swim, and while we could have gotten surf lessons, they cost a lot of money and you needed to rent your own wetsuits and all that kind of thing, and as I mentioned, it was really cold. Seeing as we didn't have any kind of map and the tourist place seemed to be closed because it was, you know, Easter weekend, we set out to find Punta de los Lobos, which is Point of the Wolves, Pichilemu's premier surf spot with incredible waves. We set out using the compass of if the ocean is on our right, we're probably going south, and hopefully there'll be a sign somewhere. Luckily enough, we did find a sign on our 8-kilometer long hike that pointed out that we were almost to Punta de los Lobos, which apparently has surfing, rocks next to the ocean, and umbrellas in the water. Which turned out not to be a lie! Because of aforementioned cold and mist, and as you can see, very, very limited visibility, there weren't that many surfers there, but there were just enough catching these incredible waves. The tide was coming in, so the waves were getting choppier and choppier, and mostly were whitewater, but this was low season. Like, the waves were small. I'd be terrified to find out what the large waves look like. After Punta de los Lobos, we basically just hung out. Most of the time we spent in Pichilemu was just wandering around, buying things like empanadas and awesome alpaca socks, what? And walking along the black sand beach and doing the obligatory sticking your feet in the ocean, although, as I said, it was cold. But it was definitely a nifty place with a lot of its own cultural characteristics. All in all, it was a pretty entertaining time, and even though the mist made for some pretty cool vistas, I would probably prefer it in the sun next time. But you can't have everything, and I didn't have a cold then, and I am in Chile. So, can't complain. We had to come back to Santiago at 10:30 in the morning because it was literally the only bus that would get us back on Sunday, and I had class on Monday. So Sunday morning, we woke up, wandered around, almost got lost, eventually got to the bus station, hopped on our bus, and made it back to Santiago.
You would die here, though.
Yes.
You would just
hence the gravestone over there.
die.